Hi, I'm Brandon. I love Hallmark Christmas movies.
I'm Brian. I like Hallmark Christmas movies.
I'm Dan, and I despise Hallmark Christmas movies.
And I'm Brett, and I try to review every Hallmark Christmas movie ever, except for the year that I take sabbatical, which is this year. Bang, bang, bang.
And this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast. Brandon and friends host his podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Well, hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday to you.
He has disappeared.
Brett White took off on us.
He said, I'm out of here.
I had to turn off my air conditioning. I didn't want to give y'all a hum.
I got to be honest, for the people that are watching on Philo, they're getting a show.
Yeah, they are.
Your office is fantastic. I'm taking it all in right now.
Yeah.
There's so much Christmas on the screen.
Look at that.
Man.
Look at that. It's beautiful. Brett, for the folks that don't know, you have been reviewing Hallmark movies for quite some time with Decider. You got the Hallmark beat, I guess. How did all that come to be, and how did you stumble your way into the world of Hallmark, this world that we also find ourselves in?
So, I've been a journalist or pop culture reporter for about 10 or 15 years, depending on how you count it. And when I was freelance in 2013, when I was freelance in 2013, like working from home at the Christmas time, I would just put on whatever was on Netflix. So a lot of Mar Vista produced content, a lot of Dean Cain movies. And so I got really accustomed to the vibe. But I later learned Hallmark is a cut above.
Yes.
of those, like My Dog Walker's Christmas Tale, like kind of nonsense. And so at Decider, I think like no one really reviews, or at least back in, I guess, 2018, 2019 is when I started this. No one really reviews Hallmark movies, like written wise. So I was like, well, this is an open market. I am clearly obsessed with Christmas, and I also love bad movies. Like, I'm a Mystery Science Theater nerd.
Love it.
And so, Hallmark movies at the time overlap. Total Christmas bad movies. We love it. And then Hallmark had the nerve to go on and start trying and actually making good movies.
Yeah.
So it's kind of ruined it for me a little, but yeah. And then this year, so like while my Christmas movie reviews stopped in November, but I still did like 16.
Yeah.
So I did review basically almost every movie that Hallmark aired all year long. So I ventured into Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that's how it happens.
Yeah. That's where they get you.
3 bed, 2 bath, 1 ghost, baby. Like,
yeah. You know what, Brett, I appreciate is you're right. Not many professional journalists review these movies on a qualitative level. Like, there's bloggers who are just going to give you different versions of it was good. And then there's podcasters, most of which will give you it was good. Then there's us and a couple others that'll give you an actual critical take, but we're not journalists, and you are. And I originally thought, Brett, that you were just a guy that was writing positive pieces for every movie. And the reason I thought that is because whenever you would write a good review, the actor would always utilize it like to its fullest because you're the only blurb that anyone can get.
The first time that Tyler Hines shared a thing on Instagram is literally the first time in my entire career that my sister and mom have cared.
More than fair.
But
thank you, Tyler.
Yeah, so I just thought, oh, this Brett White character just is like writing these positive pieces that can be shared. And then I looked into your reviews, and it's like, no, you're giving an actual, with journalistic integrity, like an actual review of these movies. And that's what, I'm here for that. Yeah. I'm here for an actual take. So thank you.
Well, yeah, I realized I kind of now, I say that every movie reviewer should actually have to 1 year review every Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like a movie reviewer boot camp, because it strips away a lot of the stuff that you're supposed to talk about when you review movies. Like, you're supposed to talk about, well, the plot was repetitive or redundant. And it's like, when that's actually the point of the movie is to give you the same thing, you have to then focus on, other things like chemistry. Did I laugh literally once at all? And was I laughing with or at the movie?
Oh, yeah.
You have to focus on different stuff. You can't just rely on like plot holes, blah, 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 because that's the point of these movies.
That's right.
The point of these, they're a vibe, baby.
They're a vibe. That's exactly right.
Absolutely. What I love also about the pieces on Decider is they do follow a bit of a format, as the show does. But you do the what will this movie like remind you of or something like that.
Yeah.
I imagine that is like the tougher part of writing those.
Oh God, yes.
Like,
it's awful.
What is the biggest leap you've made to fill that part?
Oh, jeez. I think I said In the Mouth of Madness for one of them. Because a lot of these movies are person goes to town where everyone is acting bizarre.
Right.
And so I think I've compared something In the Mouth of Madness. There was another. I said that A Fabled Holiday was like the closest we'll get to a Stephen King Hallmark movie.
Oh man!
Because again, that was another one of those like she's dealing with immortal beings who are being
terrifying.
Yeah, and so a lot. And this Hallmark movie that we're talking about today, they could go into horror very quickly,
easily.
Oh yeah.
If just a twist.
Yeah.
And God, there was one, and my boss was like, "Oh, you compared it to this. I can't wait to watch it." And I wanted to be like, "That was a stretch." I don't actually. I can't remember what it was.
It's a great. That's my favorite part. I'm always like, I wonder where he's gonna go with this.
I thought Citizen Kane for this whole movie. Time for her to come.
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
there's just like Hallmark something all the time.
For Holiday Road, when I was watching it, I was like, "This feels like Lost." Even though, like, there's no mystical element, but just like we're bringing all these people together, like on a disparate thing, and we're learning about their past, and it's like, yeah, it feels kind of losty.
The Lost fans turn it on.
And they're like, what is this?
Oh no!
That guy from Decider said this was like Lost.
I also love that it's a part like the way that you guys do it is with Stream It or Skip It, and you were doing that before you could even find a Hallmark movie to stream. Like Hallmark used to be just straight linear. If you missed it, you missed it, but you still had to do the Stream It or Skip It. So it's like stream it. Okay.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Yes, you should stream
hopefully
it.
It's on demand.
You should stream
somewhere.
it. Yes, absolutely. Well, today we're talking about the sixth version, iteration of the time for
Pronouns.
blank to come home for Christmas. This year it is her. Got to be honest. Surprised it was still around.
The sixth up was her.
I know. They keep surprising me. I keep thinking this is going to be the year that it's going to get weird, and it hasn't yet.
Us and them.
Yeah.
They used us and them before her.
It's wild.
Like, wow.
It's wild. But we're out of them now, right? Like now.
Y'all,
We've done this.
you can do y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's just names. You start with A.
Yeah.
Time for Abigail.
Oh, hold on, Aaron.
Aaron
has a mic.
She's got a
Aaron,
take.
go ahead.
Producer Aaron has a take.
I can't remember which double-decker
wow.
posted it in the group, so I'm really sorry. But they said, you think they're gonna start filling in like father, time for dad to come home, time for mom to come home.
Wow.
And if they
Eldest
do,
boy.
then it just goes on forever.
Could we not? Could we just not?
Then you can do steps
I don't
too.
think that's an option.
Stepdad.
The end of the franchise. The end of the franchise is time for Blake Shelton to come.
It has to
Yeah.
That's how it. That's
the
where we're headed.
fact that we do this every year and have yet to see Blake Shelton
Blake
is
Shelton
ridiculous.
wakes up laughing. He is getting
He's
money.
figured it out. Yeah.
He's getting money off of all of these movies. He's just waking up like, what do you do for a living? It doesn't matter. I get money off of these Hallmark movies.
Wait, you think he's not getting final say on Squid?
Can you imagine him getting up out of bed with his coffee and he puts his glasses on? He's like, they want to do what? No. Amnesia, forget it.
Hey,
like, I just can't imagine.
Hey Gwen, what do you think if the pic said joy on
That
it?
somehow
I'm thinking bangs. She's got to have bangs.
Bang!
Yeah, her hair's all a cattywampus is what I would say. I would say for some reason, Brandon, your Blake Shelton impression was offensive. And I don't know why it was offensive, but it was
Hey
offensive.
Gwen.
Hey, Gwen. Hey, Gwen.
Hey Gwen.
Gwen.
Gwendolyn?
Gwen. Remember when she was in a ska band? Let's talk about Time for Her to Come Home for Christmas. It originally aired on November 30th, 2023, and it went a little something like this. Carly is a guitar teacher, and she bangs.
Oh, baby, when she moved, she
has bangs, is all I'm trying to say.
She has bangs.
She is heading to a small town to help with a Christmas choir. A gig's a gig, baby. Matthew is a soldier returning home to that same small town that Carly is heading to. They go to the same coffee stand, they travel on the same bus, but they never actually meet each other. When Carly arrives, she is greeted by Pastor John, his wife Susan, and their chicken pot pie. She shows up to check out the choir, and they are impressively bad. You know who else goes to church? Matthew, because he's a good boy. He's excited to watch his sister Riley in the choir. He just smiles while watching them sing, but it's a smile that says, boy, this is tough goings. Riley says they were better than last week, which just doesn't seem possible. After church, Carly and Matthew finally do run into each other, and they both do this whole like, you look familiar bit. They hang out a little bit, and he even helps her bring a Christmas tree home and decorate it. She wants him to come be a part of the choir and be a tenor, and ultimately he gives in. But the choir is still bad despite the tenor. Can you believe it? They do this thing where somehow they all sing at various speeds, which is just impressive to do. I would encourage everybody to record yourself singing and then play that back and sing with it, and just try to sing off speed. It's hard to do. It is impressively hard to do, but they all do it flawlessly. So they're all just kind of doing their own thing. Carly and Matthew hang out some more. They're exchanging records. He gifts her with a record that has a song. Maybe you've heard it before. Time for Me to Come Home for Christmas. Here's a paradise in the city. The next day, she's feeling inspired and shows up for choir practice and tells them all to close their eyes and envision something that brings them joy. And suddenly, they're all way better. Carly shows up to a Christmas dance, and Matthew is dancing with another woman. She is somebody that I think we all know about, we all care about.
Yes.
And we hate her. He goes to look at the stars outside with Carly.
She's the pastor's daughter.
She's the pastor's daughter. What's her name? Jenny. He goes to look at the stars outside with Carly, and they have a moment together. She takes the group caroling, and they are so good. Suddenly, they are like straight no chaser out there.
They turn into pentatonics.
Straight no chaser.
Or straight no chaser.
Straight no chaser. The better of the two.
The better of the two by a mile.
Absolutely. Thanks to you, Straight No Chaser. Matthew tells Carly he'd love to hear her sing, and so she sings Time for Me to Come Home for Christmas and tells him that she wants to have the choir sing that for the big Christmas Eve service. The choir's really bonding with each other, even helping one of the members with some Christmas activities, wreaths, whatnot. They even drink these egg things. Egg creams. So all movie, Matthew has been catching up with the high school sweetheart, and Carly finally sees them talking to each other. She immediately gets jealous, but then he returns a pick that she lost, and so how can he be mad at that? She then finds out the real truth bomb of this movie that we didn't know was going to happen. The pastor's wife is her dad's sister. They knew this. They did not tell her. She is shocked, but she's not mad, just happy to have family after all this time. It's time for the performance. They crush it. Everyone's going nuts, including the pastor. He's like, finally. And then Carly and Matthew talk, and they kiss. And that, my friends, was time for her to come home for Christmas.
We did it.
We did do it. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll break this movie down with 4 segments here on Deck the Hallmark. Well, hey there. Hi there, everybody. Welcome back. We're talking about Time for Her to Come Home for Christmas. It's time to break it down with 4 segments, the first of which is the hot take. It is where we share exactly how we felt about this movie. We do not hold back. And I'll start with you, Brian. Brian, what'd you think about this movie?
Yeah, thanks, Brent. This had some...
You're welcome.
You're welcome, buddy.
some,
You've been here a year. You've earned it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great.
This means a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks for the Tony.
Thanks.
Tony.
So this had some sweet moments, I think, but the wholesomeness and like the aw shucks of it all was brutal. I can't stand that just like so simple and not, it's I guess shallow. It's a very shallow and not a lot to it. And I do appreciate movies that are based around music and song and singing, and you actually it feels like they were actually singing, and you get to see some guitar playing and whatnot. I like that a lot, so it's hard to bash that because I want more of that. And also it feels like shoveling snow against the tide to complain about it because it's inevitable. We're getting
Shoveling
these.
snow against the tide.
Wow.
I gotta do some math
Just
on
think
that
about
one.
that. It just keeps coming. It's not going to stop.
That's
We're
not tide, though. That's
the
just more
tide,
snow.
the tide, the ocean. Usually
why-
it's shoveling sand. I turned it to snow for the winter of it.
Isn't snow
So-
at the beach, though?
You bring the snow with you.
bring the snow with you, and then you shovel
it against the
tide.
truck.
The water keeps coming.
This
You're
sounds
doing
like
a lot of the dumb work there.
This sounds like
that's
a exercise in futility.
This is what I'm saying. That's what it's like complaining about these movies because
Yes.
it's just not going to stop. You're just going to.
So we shouldn't complain about them? Is that
you
what you're
can,
saying?
but it's like, what's the point? They're just going to keep doing it. So I guess we're going to keep watching them because we contractually obligated. We got to. It's not.
We're not contractually obligated.
We can do what we
We can
want.
stop whenever we want to.
I feel like I'm contractually obligated.
There's no contract here.
We've never once made you sign a
Never-
contract.
no, you are
It's
literally
like inherent.
episode by episode basis. And
I walk
after
in the
shoveling
door.
snow into the tide, it might be your last one.
Well, going out on a high note, I guess.
Absolutely. Brett, do you care about these movies, and what do you think about this one?
Well, I watched the first two like over the past 72 hours just to really refresh myself on the franchise where there is no connected history except for Blake Shelton and I think the song.
Yes.
Is the song in all of
The
them.
song
Is
in all of them.
there a mystery in the first one?
Because we couldn't think.
No,
There isn't, yeah,
No,
okay.
there is not. God, what was the first? Do they all involve troops? That's also this
Okay.
is the most. It's the most like. This is just pure bland old Hallmark,
Yeah.
which I do think we can now pressure them because
Yeah.
after watching like Biltmore Christmas and Holiday Road and Where Are You Christmas and Heidelberg Holiday, even them actually going to locations and filming in the locations, like I think we could be harder because they're trying everywhere else. So then we get ones like this where it's just like troops, church, whenever the little boy was like, we just got word my dad's in the military and he isn't coming home for Christmas. It's okay. Of course he is. That's just like, can we do other excuses finally? And it was fine. It was,
All that to say it was fun.
it's like it is what it is. I can't have a hot take on this because it's just pretty flatline. I will say the posters and just the fact that she has bangs and dark hair led me to believe this could be a different kind of movie because Hallmark leads do not have bangs nor do they have dark hair like that. And so I was like, oh, is she like a manic pixie dream girl? Is she like an indie chick? Like, is she kind of like edgy? It's like, no, she's just normal. She's fine.
just normal.
They saved Manic Pixie Dream Girl for their Valentine's Day slate. if I'm
Yes,
not
I can't wait
mistaken.
for
Yes,
it.
of course.
It's gonna be great.
It's
It's
gonna
gonna
be
crush. What is there to say at this point about this movie and the rest of them? I do not care for this series. I do not care for this song. I wish
Dr.
that
Seuss?
it would end soon so we can all just move along.
Would not watch
Boom.
it.
Thank you very
Wonderful.
much.
That was wonderful.
Thank you. But
should make 6 movies about that
I
thing.
thought that the lead gal was swell. I would be fine having her come back.
The lead gal.
Sorry, I just had a brainstorm. What if they had retitled Holiday Road "Time for Y'all to Come Home for Christmas"?
That would have been good.
Yeah.
It's like, but that's the thing. Like, how do they decide which of the movies is this? Because they all are someone going home. And like, here's the thing. And this isn't even her home.
No.
This is like, sure, she meets someone that is an aunt, but that's not home.
And also, I think they decided based upon which one they would like to write Blake Shelton a check for. I honestly were like, this movie's too good. We don't want to write all these residual checks to Blake Shelton, so let's pick a different one.
Let's pick the one that airs last November on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries and hope for the best. Yeah, I'm just confused, continue to be confused about this series and how they decide. And, but yeah, it was fine.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Brand. I hate it. I don't, everyone's said it more kindly than me, but no one is going home in this movie. For a movie called Time for Her to Come Home, it is decidedly lacking in the her going home department.
Honestly,
there are lots of hers.
There are lots. You're right. It could have been the aunt who would know because she's been in.
Honestly, everybody has been home aside from her.
That's right.
And she still isn't, technically.
Every time we do one of these movies, I always make the same joke, which is it's time for them to stop making these movies. Having said that, like, should I change? What do I have to do? Like, please stop. You're making good movies now. You're making quality movies. You need to stop this. I don't know if it's just like a deal with the devil or it's a 12 picture deal. I don't know what's going on, but we've got to stop. We've got to stop this. And none of it gets a fair shake. The sister act of it all doesn't get a fair shake. The troop stuff doesn't get a fair shake. Why was her aunt kept a secret? It just is half-baked, underwhelming. She doesn't go home. I don't know what to tell you. This movie's really bad. It's really, really bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. Okay. Let's get to all the feels where we talk about when this movie gave us the feels.
Yeah.
Brian?
Yeah, well, one of the feels I actually did get was the inclusion of kind of off the beaten path Christmas music. Sort of, Christmas morning podcast kind
Talking
of
about Christmas morning podcast?
Oh, that's
bit.
still going on, huh?
It sounds like
Yeah.
it might
Why
be.
do you say that, Dan?
We both say it.
Yeah.
But it hurts.
It's a bit.
But we love it.
It hurts your feelings?
It hurts my feelings.
Really?
We love that show.
You don't need us to.
People love the Christmas morning. That's why it's funny.
I just want you to say that you love it.
I don't listen.
You could lie.
But I'm not a liar.
That's true. You should respect that he doesn't pretend to like it.
I just say it.
I will say this. When I listen, it is a joy.
Thank you, Dan.
And when I overhear you recording it, it is a joy
Thank
as
you.
well.
Thank you.
But finding music that's not the traditional, like what you hear on the radio, I enjoy that a lot.
Yeah.
And I love hearing Christmas songs that aren't played over and over repeatedly. So the fact that they included or try to include some music that was just not the standard Christmas music, and they sort of bring that to the focus, like we're going to on purpose try to discover some music we don't typically hear and enjoy it. I love that. That was great. And I was digging that the Bluestone Trio. I think there was the Bluestone Trio.
Yeah.
Blue Notes Trio.
And then the one she got was Accordion to Steve
Yes.
Christmas polka,
Great
which
name.
that's good. I like
Yeah,
it.
really
that's
is.
what's the hallmark for
That's
me.
good,
Like, when do
mate.
I get to hear the Accordion to Steve soundtrack?
Give me the six movie arc of that song for sure.
Yeah.
Brett, what do you got?
Well, as a homosexual man from Tennessee, I really did appreciate that in the pastor's office, behind him, there was an all are welcome sign with like a rainbow, like stick figure chorus line under it. And I appreciated that. Thank you.
I appreciate that too. I did not notice that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just my own like panic whenever like church stuff comes
Sure.
up because of, residual
Sure.
trauma from coming out in Tennessee. And then I also really liked that the Matthew when Bangs was going on about her dead mom, and he was like, hey, family can be chosen too. And I was like, I always love when these movies focus on chosen family, although the movie does completely undercut that because at the end of the movie, the family she's chosen turns out to be, surprise, her blood family.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
cool.
That advice does.
The chosen family stuff works great when it happens. This movie just didn't have it, unfortunately.
I'll keep the holiday road ending with all of them at the table. I don't care. I loved it. I wanted them to bring the son over. I wanted him to bring his birth mom to it. I wanted everyone in that house.
Yeah.
I love
Chosen. And I also liked Bangs cheering up George. I thought that was really good.
Yes. I love records. I love Christmas records. I love finding random ones. In fact, my buddy Dave just gave me a fantastic one that I can't wait to listen to. It's an old album we found with a song on it called Darcy the Dragon, and it is a bizarre Christmas tune. And he found me the record of it, and I can't.
What a guy!
But it's just like when you find something weird, but also like charming, and it also is on some sort of vinyl. It's hard to beat that. So
have y'all heard Christmas in the Stars?
Nope.
The Star Wars Christmas album from 1980.
Nope.
No.
Yep. With Anthony Daniels, and it is also John Bon Jovi's first ever recorded appearance because
I've
he
heard
was
about
the
this.
janitor. He was the janitor at the record studio, and so he's the singer on R2D2. We Wish You a Merry Christmas, and it's a banger.
Learning stuff from Brett White.
How about that?
Fantastic.
Dano?
Yeah, I'd never heard of a chocolate egg cream beverage. I was like, is that just eggnog? Yeah. And then I watch, and we here at the office have been trying an eggnog. Aaron is like pitching a fit over there, like, no, not the same. Yeah, we here at the office, if you were at Bramble Jam Plus, BrambleJamPlus.com, you would be able to watch us weekly. Yep. Brian, Aaron, and myself, we try a different eggnog every week. And I learned about a month ago that I like eggnog. It's a beverage I've avoided for years and years. I tried it one time. Turns out,
namely by the first
word, which I don't like eggs at all, and so I figured I would not like eggnog. I was wrong. Unless Brian or Aaron makes it, it's delightful. They both made a batch, and I didn't like it, but. It wasn't. If the consistency was, I didn't get sick. That's true. I
slow burn.
It's still in there.
I'm a fan of good eggnog, and then I'm like chocolate egg cream, and I looked it up. It's different, and then they make them in this movie. And they look fantastic. They look really, really good.
And they're all having a good time with it.
They're all having a good time around the table. This is that found family that Brett's talking about. That was fun. That scene was like I would like to try that beverage.
There you go.
They have it.
You're on now any egg related beverage you're a part of.
Apparently,
you're jumping on the egg wagon.
Yeah,
I'll allow it. Yes, Aaron.
So an egg cream doesn't.
Aaron gets her mic back, and she is just like
taking full advantage.
Go ahead.
It's milk and carbonated water.
Yeah.
Right on.
Okay.
So why
there's a foam, like a whipped foam on top that has some egg in it, right? That's that's the way I understood it.
Where's the egg?
There's no egg or cream.
It's just
okay.
milk.
So the entire title is a lie, just like the name of this movie. Okay, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back here on Deck the Hallmark.
I got it at a diner thinking that's what I was gonna have. Bye.
Welcome back to Egg Cream, the movie. We are back. We're talking about the wait whats of this movie. Anything that made us go wait what while we were watching this film. Brian.
Yeah. Pretty early on, the pastor and his wife brought over a chicken pot pie, and then they sat down and ate the whole thing on her, with her. Like,
on her? What
like
are you
they ate it on her.
Like,
movie.
What do you mean
sushi? Like that
on her?
Like
it's like,
thing?
yeah, you know, like they ate it on
That's her. That's
the
her.
whole
On,
thing
you
on her.
weirdo.
her. Like she
You
was on the
are
table.
weird.
I mean, like you. I go, hey, Brent, I got you a drink, but I drank it on you.
That is
by accident.
Showtime's
You know what I
version
mean?
of
But
the
she had a giant slice
She had a
herself.
slice, but like at that point, bring 2 pot pies. Like if you're gonna sit down and
so
be like,
they can eat
dude,
one on her and eat one with
I brought
her.
you a pot pie for you, and here's one for all of us.
The slices of this pot pie that they're taking are like they've never eaten in their life.
They're
It
huge.
just seemed rude to help
It is
themselves
like
to the
they
pot
are
pie.
taking like quarters
Yes.
of this pot pie.
Where is she gonna eat all
And they're
week?
eating it on her, apparently.
So you're upset that she didn't get an entire pot. She was
Yeah.
promised for a moment a full pot pie.
God,
and they sat down.
You are the reason people have to ask.
Dude,
dumb questions.
nothing would thrill me more than for somebody to bring a pot pie and not let me eat it.
Yeah.
You don't
that
like
would
pot
make
pie?
me
I
so
don't
happy.
like pot
Well,
pie.
that's
A casserole?
part of the
How about
problem.
you eat
Yeah,
it?
I
Like
don't
that
want any
would
casserole.
I like
make
a
me
nice
happy.
pot pie. So
this
maybe that's
guy's
the
mad
difference.
she didn't get the whole pot
The whole,
pie.
anything. If
Was
you
she
bring,
supposed to eat it for a week?
If I bring anything to anybody, I'm not being like, hey, I brought you this fudge, and then I open it and start eating it on them, like in front of them.
You did.
Once
You
again,
didn't.
it
You
has
have
never
a,
been offered for you
This-
to eat something on someone.
Did you have a
whose
piece
house
of the
you
fudge
brought
today?
Not
fudge
today.
And you did. I watched
Not
you.
today.
He has.
Not today.
Yes, he has.
Not today. I haven't touched this fudge.
But
except
was
to move
it was
to
the
a
fudge
bigger
that
bag.
you sampled yesterday? Did it come from that
I wasn't
fudge?
even here yesterday. yesterday.
But what I'm saying is this fudge here?
For any further
the
questions,
same
so we need to
fudge?
be directed to my representation. We'll answer no
This
more
is a
questions.
dumb wait what.
Anyway, no, it's not.
You literally said they ate a pot pie
You
on
ate
her.
the fudge on us.
You ate the fudge on us.
If I'm showing up to your house with your family and I bring stuff, I'm not like, here is for you, and I'm going to take half of that stuff I just brought you. For
If
myself.
I invite you in, what are you to do?
They did
What
invite
are you to
themselves
do?
in. I will say this. They did, because it was one of mine. They did, like, oh, if you want some company, like, we'd love to help.
This
you
thing's,
know,
this thing's
eat
not
the
getting
pot
any
pie.
warmer. We got to cut this thing open
And
real
if
quick,
you could
guys.
just lay down horizontally, we'd love
We'll
to
just
eat
we'll
it
just
on
lay
you.
this on
Yeah.
top of you. All right, moving along.
Found family.
About her dead
You
mom.
can keep your clothes on. It's nothing like that. It's
nothing
nothing
weird.
deviant.
It's
We
not
just love
weird.
to use people
Unless
as
you want to take them
tables.
off.
It
It's up to
does
you.
not arouse us at all.
Not weird.
Just how we eat pie.
It's not like your family yet. So about her dead mom, she says, she used to call me her little songbird. And then he says, so how's she feel about you spending the Christmas away? Like, dude, she just said she used to. Like,
used
read
to.
the room. Like, that is she did.
Come on. Just it's easy.
Also, be aware that you're in a Hallmark movie where moms
Exactly.
are always
Yeah,
dead.
good
You would
luck.
have met her if she were
90%
alive.
of the time.
Yes. So that was just like, dude, come on, man. You're digging a hole there. And the pastor, he was struggling with the Christmas Eve sermon. Like, that's the easiest sermon of the year, right? Like, you're getting people who don't go to church. Like, you throw softballs. You do the most easy
Can I tell you something? That's a very fair way. As having a brother and a dad with that are pastors, I can tell you that the Easter and Christmas messages, they put an inordinate amount of pressure on making sure that they can be accessible to people who are there once a year, but also don't want to have those people in the back who are pushing up their glasses going, well, that isn't what the Bible really blah, blah. Like, that's not my world. But I can tell you from growing up around it that they put a lot of pressure on those two messages.
But you got to have a few of them.
I don't disagree. You should be able to reach into the old sermon
There you
Rolodex
go.
and be like, Jesus was born, guys. He was born.
That's it.
Well, it's also, I feel like Christmas Eve is like you go for 15 minutes, you light a candle, they sing some carols, and you go home because it's Christmas Eve.
Yeah, well, Christmas Eve is on Sunday this year, Brett, and you know down here in the South, they're
duty.
gonna have a full service.
Watch out, baby.
Well, and the good churches will have your normal service, and then you come back at night
right.
for the candlelight joint.
In a new suit.
And a new, no doubt. Brett, anyway, what's for you?
What if I said no? I love that. Like, one of the first things that happens in the movie is a shot of Matthew getting on the bus, and then you overhear him showing the photos of the tree that his sister's texting him. It's like, oh yeah, here it is. Putting up the stars, my favorite part. And it's like this poor old lady just sitting next to this weirdo for 5 hours or whatever. And then again, coming from Southern Baptist churches in Tennessee, jeans in church.
Oh man.
Excuse me? Like, and I mean, I again have not been a regular churchgoer for at least 20 years, but back in my day, you didn't wear jeans, and also secular song.
Yeah.
Listen,
Part of the
can you imagine, Brett, going to a Christmas Eve service and you just are sure you're going to hear the hits?
I love the hits.
The
I
Come
love
All
the
Ye
hits.
Faithful, the
An
Silent Night.
Oh Holy Night. Someone just crushing it.
Absolutely.
Hark the Herald Angels Sing.
Yeah.
Fun song. They were singing it.
Can you
They
imagine
sounded
if somebody
good,
sang like
eventually.
Blue Christmas by Elvis at a
Christmas rapping.
at a Christmas Eve service in a Southern Baptist church? It would just go over like a lead balloon. Everyone would be like,
Well,
"What
and
is
I
happening?"
was waiting for like any like oblique reference to Jesus in the Blake Shelton song,
Nope.
and there wasn't
Nope.
any. It was just about coming home for Christmas.
That's right. And our Lord and
And then
Savior did that. Amen.
Amen.
Blake Shelton. And I loved also that the aunt was like, do you want to make candles? And just like, bam, they're making candles. It's like she was ready.
Yeah.
I love that.
Come with me. I know just how to do
Right
it.
now.
I have a couple. One, a fella named Rick Martin edited this movie. Is this Ricky Martin? Has Ricky Martin started a new profession where he edits movies only with women with bangs?
And I will say this.
Ah,
That's really good.
She bangs.
But Ricky Martin would never put out something this boring. Never.
Ricky. Yeah, I like that.
I feel like he'd be doing some really good color correction. Like everything would be like cyan,
it would.
canary yellow. Like it would be bright.
I love the idea of Ricky Martin wanting to do something new, but he's like, this feels more like a Rick situation. Gonna drop the Y for this. She comes into this place with her guitar and she puts her guitar on the island like a weirdo. Like there are, I don't know, so many other surfaces, the floor, that you can put your guitar. And she says, let me put it up here on islands. No, you don't, you weirdo. So the guy who, the kid whose dad is gone in military, on Army.
In Army, yeah.
Says that his mom took...
Army had half a day.
Army had half day. That's
Army
right. He
had
sent him
half day.
early. This is all his medals from Army.
She took extra shifts up at the orchard. Like, what is...
Which is where they go to eat the peppermint stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, the
that...
restaurant.
I thought that she was working at an actual orchard.
Thank you.
And I was like, why
So that's
are they going to an orchard to drink
Perfect.
peppermint? But I guess that's the name of the cafe.
I totally
Yeah.
missed that it was the name of the cafe, and I'm like,
Oh
this
my
is
gosh.
winter. Like, we don't
Yeah.
need to go out there, but thank you. That's
Especially
perfect. I
not
love
extra
that.
shifts.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Extra shifts at the apple orchard, just kind of
Regular
looking at them.
shift.
You just kind of look at the orchard. Dano?
Yeah, Brian mentioned in his synopsis, but I have never seen a choir this enthusiastic and this bad. That what they're doing is they're all singing well in different speeds to the same song, and it's hard to find someone with that good of a voice that also can't just do the basic keeping of like it's classic Hallmark where they're like act bad. And it's like you can tell that they're acting bad. They did a double act instead of just like actually pulling off singing badly. They sing well while they're supposed to be bad, and it's like immediately off-putting and not in the way it's supposed to be.
The first time I did start cackling. The first
Yes.
time we heard them all singing, I was like, this is bad in a way I didn't expect.
That's right.
It's
bad in a way that can only be done on a soundstage. You know what I mean? It's not bad in real life. This Christmas tree lot is not trying. Some of the trees are upside down in the lot. There is no one manning the front of the Christmas tree lot, and this guy is putting it in the net and taking it to the truck himself. It is a self-serve Christmas tree lot, which is impressive. I get if you don't have any extras, but man, we're not even
This
trying
is
here.
exactly what we were striking for.
Yeah, that's right.
This is what we were trying to fight against. The
Yeah.
Christmas tree farms need workers. They
Yeah.
can't just be self-serving.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
Yeah,
all
we gotta-
willy-nilly.
Amazon took over the Christmas tree lot. You mentioned also when they start caroling, all of a sudden they sound like the world's best choir, which I thought was hysterical. The character of George has this great scene where he comes to tears about his wife who couldn't sing, and then she passed away. That's why he joined the choir, blah, blah, blah. I will submit to you that while that scene is wonderful, George is the worst curmudgeon in the world. There isn't any sort of like evolution.
Yeah, he
It's
gives it
just
up right
he's
away.
just like, "Brr, I'm George, I hate you." And the next scene, he's like, "Christmas is awesome. I love everyone. They're the best. Yay, go Christmas." And I would have loved to, it's a home run. It's a softball. If you have George be a little bit less mean every scene, at the end of the movie, you get this big breakthrough. Like
Give him the solo.
That would
What
be
if he has the
wonderful.
solo?
Obviously.
yeah. See, no one can follow Dusty. Dusty, how that's how you do a curmudgeon.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
That's exactly
And
right.
that's
Dusty was
leading
great.
to
Great.
Yeah.
the
yeah.
spinoff Dusty Begins.
Yeah. Now, was it weird that Dusty was carrying around a bag full of money, cash?
To
Yes.
some people, maybe.
That's why he needs the
In
spinoff.
small bills. Yes, it was. It was very weird. But he did pull off that role a lot better. You're 100% right.
We love
And then
Dusty.
lastly, this woman knows that she is our leading lady's aunt. Does not they invite her and her husband invite her to town to take over the choir. They do not tell her this information. She just lost her mom and her dad, and at the end, they say that she's like, "I'm your aunt." She's like, "You mean your aunt? Why didn't you tell me?" And the answer she gives is, and I'm going to read it straight off my phone: "We didn't want to disrupt your life."
Well, here you go.
Just a quick timeout. You moved her all the way from her home to take over a 6-person choir. You disrupted her entire life.
It was only for 2 weeks.
You gave her new home,
Yes, for
new
2
job,
weeks.
and new romantic partner.
And half a chicken
and now
pot
new
pie.
That's
aunt.
right. New romantic partner, 2 weeks in a new home. Like, you can't just say you did. That is the definition of disrupting someone's life. That's what that means. That's all I got.
Yeah, but at least it was no news. It's just a job. It's
right.
not
Yeah,
disrupting at all. Let's get to the what the hallmarks where we wonder what could have been, maybe haven't, get some clarity on any questions that we still have. Brian, what are you still wondering about?
Yeah, it was the egg cream, peppermint egg cream. This has gotten a lot of play already.
Yeah, it
today.
sure has.
I wasn't aware. I had just days before this movie had heard of an egg cream or had seen somebody drinking an egg cream online, and I didn't know what it was. And so then to see it in this movie again, I'm like, all right. I looked it up, went through the whole thing.
Came
Luckily,
across someone drinking an egg
like
cream
somebody just
online?
posting about having their first egg cream. I don't know why,
You just
because I
scrolling,
get a lot of
alright.
food stuff served
Scrolling
to
the
me.
reels.
All right, man.
Yeah.
So egg
What
cream,
do
I
you
had
do
no
in your
idea.
spare time?
Yeah.
I had no idea, and I thought it would be a fun thing to make.
He
or
probably
try.
Googled drinking egg cream on someone.
And that's a
get some
corner of
special-
TikTok you can't escape.
That's right.
There's no
That's
coming
right.
back.
Yeah. And
There's
now,
no coming back.
and now all the algorithms know it. So you're just gonna. That's it. That's all you're gonna get.
So I do want to try an egg cream. I feel like we have to try an egg cream. Basically,
Yeah.
we're at a point where we need to do this.
Yeah, we already
So-
have Naga clock.
Yeah,
every
we got to
week.
find an egg cream around here, and I'm just wondering all about that.
Cream 30.
Nope. Can't be cream 30. Let's try again. Let's
Well-
see if we can keep workshopping that.
I already TM'd it. There's something I can do.
Oh boy.
Brett, any what the hallmarks for you?
I mean, the aunt secret plot line is both a what the hallmark and a wait what the hall. It's insane. Like from the very beginning, they are so suspicious of like I was like, is she her mom? What is happening? The thing that I am left wondering is like, what is about Bangs' dad? Why does he suck? Why did he disappear? What did the letter that he wrote to her on her 18th birthday actually say? Like, did it say your aunt lives in this place, is married to pastor? Like, what is anything about her dad?
Their choir
it'd be really funny. I was like, yep, your dad was my brother. He sucked. Like, say something. Like, justify something. They acted so weird when she just turns to her husband. It's like, she looks just like him. It's like, what is happening? It's just so
it's very
creepy.
He is married to pastor is my favorite. He is married to pastor. Right.
So I'm assuming that she is going to move here.
Now, apparently, it was only for 2 weeks initially,
But
now that she has a love interest.
Now that she has love interest and auntie,
yes,
And she gets to keep that house, I guess.
it's time for her
I
to
hope
come
so.
home for Christmas.
But like she has like quite a few clients that she was like teaching guitar. So yeah, I mean, there's a few loose ends there with specifically back there. So I'm just interested to see what she
What
does.
the internet's for, Brent.
In the chocolate egg cream scene, there's one guy who just goes ham on the pour. I don't know if you saw this.
Overspilled.
Oh yeah,
It's-
and then a surprise.
Yes. So like, it's not like he barely overdoes it. He shows less restraint than my 7-year-old with chocolate milk. It's just like tip it straight up, and then he's like, "How did I spill it? How? What?
Why does this always happen?"
Where did the physics go wrong here?" And I just have questions on how that made it into the movie.
liquids?
It does not. Unlimited.
Listen,
fill.
his dad isn't around to teach him how to pour.
Oh, why you got to bring up his missing
that's
dad?
Yeah.
tough.
That was my what the hallmark. It was pretty straightforward.
Absolutely. What is liquid? Well, here's the thing. We saw maybe some frustration. We saw some tears. Did we see any fights?
Ooh, good
I don't
question,
know.
good question,
There's only one person who will know. It's Vic Webster, something that Brett will not be able to hear, but it's time for a fighting chance with Vic Webster.
Fighting chance with Vic Webster. A fighting chance with Vic Webster. Was the fighting in the movie? Did someone get hurt? It's a fighting chance with Vic Webster. A fighting chance with Vic Webster. A fighting chance with Vic Webster. Vic Webster.
Oh, there was some taekwondo action.
Fighting chance with Vic Webster. Vic Webster.
Brad,
That may have been the best one.
Brad, he said
Yeah.
no. There was no fighting.
Brett, no.
Yeah.
It's a no.
Sorry,
no.
Brett. Yeah.
Brett, tell people how they can see all your stuff and your writings and anything else you really want to promote in this moment.
Woo! Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Brett White. You can read just a backlog of Hallmark and just Christmas movie reviews in general at Decider. I particularly love my I Believe in Santa from Netflix review, because that movie is nuts.
Yeah, we reviewed it. We reviewed it on this podcast.
Oh boy, I love it.
Yeah.
And I'm also a drag queen named Barb Hardley, and I'm working on my Christmas special, so you can look at Barb Hardley on YouTube and Instagram. I have 2 numbers already done and up. And that's what I will be doing probably for the rest of the week, is finishing that. So
That's
Instead of watching Hallmark movies, man.
I tell you what.
Tough.
I tell you what.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
This was so much fun, a long time coming, and I'm happy that it finally worked out for us.
Yeah.
We'll be back tomorrow. Well, more of this, more of the same. Until then, maybe we're the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark is a Bramble Jam podcast. It's produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.